Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Hunt, the hunting podcast your mom listens to. As always, we have Mike Gonsalves, who is the outro. Sam Alexander trapping a vicious cycle of milsurp addiction.
Crap.
What?
Go on.
Oh. Vince Age, who doesn't wanna, and I'm Dave Packard, who is the intro. Tonight we are talking about a various amount of things, all the way from lights to plans to nonsense.
It's Chinese lighters. We didn't change that one either. Wow. We got talking too much.
It happens.
It does.
Anywho,
talk about your lights. I want to hear about
just
your
jumping,
lights.
Just jumping right in it, huh?
No, I'm excited about lights. Lights are awesome. I got lights
He
all over
likes
the
to
place.
stare into them until he gets to blink a lot.
Lamp.
Well, these ones you don't have to stare very, very long at all. No, I got a couple lights for Father's Day / birthday, and they're both Nebo. The first one I got is the Torchy 2K or Torchy 2000. So it's a little bitty. It's not a pen light, but it's like if you smashed a pen light shorter, but also made it fatter. I think at the most it's an inch wide. Yeah, like a slinky, perhaps like a collapsed slinky. But at the most it's like an inch wide, and it's got initially out of the box that I found it has 3 settings. It has high, medium, and low.
Does it have a grenade setting?
Well,
So it's not a no light.
I then found out that if you hold the on button, it starts off low. So you got like an admin light. And then if you hold the button while it's on, then it jumps up to 2,000 lumens for 30 seconds. And it's a bright little bastard. And it's rechargeable. It's a little magnet mount recharger or magnet mount charger. So I've been carrying that for a while.
It will give you 30 seconds of runtime at 2,000 lumens?
Before it backs off to high.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 4 brightness settings, and the 2,000 lumen lasts for 30 seconds, and then it backs back off. So,
I thought it was like an electric vehicle. Where
I need to get this out before I run out of time here. Do you want to watch me light my desk on fire live?
Yes.
Let's see if I can get spark before the fluid dumps out.
Jesus Christ. Anyways,
all right,
Vince.
Sorry, I took the lid off the lighter
Never
and
mind.
didn't realize it doesn't have any absorbent material inside. So it I need to make sure I pin that one for a for a reel.
just use it as a shot glass. Just shoot it the next time.
Oh.
My grandfather used to do that. He would light. I don't remember if it was a very, very high alcoholic Portuguese wine, and he would light it on fire and then take shots of it. It was so alcoholic it would glow blue.
Nice.
Well, I mean, most things that are about alcohol glow that color anyway, but it was barely blue.
Just shoot flaming Everclear. Be a man. Anyway,
sorry for that
so
interruption. But
this light is like $40, and I carry it every day, and I've had to charge it twice. So,
dope.
I mean,
cool.
Battery lasts pretty decent compared to like the Nebo pen lights that are rechargeable.
He hasn't used it at all.
Yeah, never. Also, it comes with this nifty little pocket clip that almost looks like an S. So it's like a normal pocket clip. And then you could stick it on the bill of your cap. And then you got a headlamp.
Oh.
I show you.
Fancy.
That is nifty.
Yeah, see?
Until you're working on your truck and you bump into something and you keep shutting your light off.
No, because the button's right here. It's not a tail cap button. That's the charger.
Dude, I love side button lights.
Side
button lights are fantastic when you don't have a weapon mounted light.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
No, fantastic is what you said at first. So we're gonna go.
No one fucking
fantastic
knows what I
title.
said.
No, you said fantastic.
Whatever. In any case, side mounted Did you just clip it to your hat?
Yes, I did.
Well, he
Very
unclipped
smart.
it from his hat. It's almost
Since-
like you weren't listening for the past minute.
Yeah.
If you're holding a pistol and you have a light in your hand with the pistol, because it's 2002 and weapon mounted lights aren't a thing yet, not that way, the other way. In your support thumb, you just tuck it right in there against the slide. It's
Oh.
much more supportive than the FBI way or whatever.
The back-to-back bullshit.
Right.
Front
But if you
side
have
way.
it there on the side of the side button, it's just fantastic for clicky on, clicky off. And I never ever find side button lights.
You know,
So that's pretty
this
cool.
one's got a side button.
That is excellent.
And shit, I'm gonna have to go get my other one. Give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves for approximately
gonna-
10 seconds.
Oh, I was gonna mention. I will get
Oh,
into it now. I was gonna start mentioning why I lit my desk on fire, but maybe I'll get to that one later.
Yeah, maybe just save that one for later.
I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
While Dave's gone, I also got a new little EDC flashlight in the mail today. It came today. I got a Cloud Defensive Chicro finally
Ooh.
that I've been meaning to try out for a while, and
That
actually,
Chinese crow
yeah,
And how did you obtain that Chicro?
science, theft, murder.
Brownells.
Brown
Ed
nosing.
Woody.
well, they're like $30 on Amazon, so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went the communist China route all
I mean,
the way.
it is the Chicro.
Yep. But the thing that actually sold me on it was kind of what Dave was showing, where you can swap the little pocket clip around, and you can do the thing where you put it on your hat.
I really like that.
It's a good backup,
It's
especially
brilliant.
if you're gonna be out there like trying to. I mean, I'm imagining you're trying to field dress something and you forgot your headlamp, or your headlamp dies. At least you got one kind of field expedient.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't involve duct taping it to your head.
And
for
then
work,
also,
I
go ahead.
for work I use a headlamp quite extensively during late November and through December and into January, and that'd be a nice backup to have, something that just pops onto the hat.
And,
Sam, where's yours? You need one now. Do it.
No, I'll just light my hat on fire.
So I like
It'll
the
be brighter
ability
than
to.
yours. It's more temporary.
I like the ability there to reverse the clip. I have a couple of lights, Streamlight and Surefire.
Do I look like Sam
and
now?
You can't reverse the clips on them. So if I put them in my pocket
It's
and I want
the
them clipped
redneck
to my
knob.
pocket where I can get to them, the bulb face is facing upward instead of downward, and I'm always worried that I'm going to impact it and shatter the light. So I just don't keep them in my pocket. So yeah, looks like the Chicro is a pretty.
He's pretty small.
Small. It is. Damn, that is small. Yeah.
Does Cloud Defensive have a
This is
light
way
that's
bigger.
like Dave's size?
Yes, they do. They have all kinds of lights.
It's called the rain.
How many lights do you carry with you out in the backwoods? 1, 4, 8,
Two.
10? 2? Oof.
2.
You're not paranoid
least-
enough, sir.
I can see at night.
All of them.
I can see at night too. I just can't hunt with what I tell. I can't be like caught hunting with what I can see at night with. You know how much if I could legally somehow convince CPW that I'm not hunting with the night vision, I'm just using it to get back to the tent because I don't want to run into a moose. I'd do it every time.
I
Now,
promise
Dave's
you.
talking about low beams and high beams.
I'm
What?
not sure.
You said you carry
Oh.
two lights.
Oh. I got you.
No, I usually have like 3. I usually have 2 headlamps and then a pocket light. Because
Yeah,
I don't trust any of my
headlamp.
headlamps. All my headlamps are kind of cheap, so I take 2 of them.
You got headlamp, pocket flashlight, which is one of the 2 that I mentioned, and will probably be a Cloud
Got a
Defensive soon. But
tiki
and
torch.
then don't forget about the 3rd one that most of us have in our pocket as well.
I
Oh yeah,
always
but
think
that one's
about one.
cheating.
It is cheating and it sucks, but if they're 2 quit, and
Oh,
that's the only way.
You know
that's
what I
the only
took
light
for
you
a
got.
light the last time back in April when I went and shot that beaver, and I was afraid I'd have to gut it in the middle of the night like we did the last one, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I have these little like battery powered shop lights. I brought one of those so I could just like hang it off a tree branch and boom.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't need it because I shot at 45 minutes before sundown. So, so when I next in the fall when I need it is when I'll forget it. I was looking at trail cameras today at Shields to try and pick up one for. I need to set a trail camera out on a couple of those spots because I'm not sure if anybody's living there anymore or not. And the trail cam will tell.
Make sure you hide them really, really well.
Well,
I don't think it's a well-trafficked area. Like, I've never seen anyone out there ever.
Yeah, so did I. Well, actually, no, I did see that one dude in a trench coat, which creeped me out. And
That
then
is a
I
little
saw
weird.
the lady last week with a dozen of dogs. So now I've seen people there.
You need to put like a Patagonia sticker on it so that people think you're just wildlife viewing.
If I really wanted to, if I really didn't want it to be taken, I'd just put property of into experimental forest on it and ding.
Property of Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
No, that one seems a little too criminal. If I was going to do something like that, I'd do property of USGS, the Geological Service, because that one's esoteric enough that no one's going to call, and
True.
it seems like it would cover a wider variety of weird things, because people don't know anything about geology. So like, why is there? Well, I don't know. Do you know anything about geology? No, rocks.
What do
and
they?
stuff.
What do they even do? They look at rocks.
Well, you know what else I have?
Javelin Fang says he takes his rigid battery-powered fan and folding work light to work and camp. Well, you also live in a swamp, so you need that air circulation, pal.
That's
Hey,
very true.
hey, I just bought some battery powered fans to take camping because half the year it's like frigid here, and the other half it's like hot and humid, and you don't want to like be out in the woods at all. So
Oh no, that's
I
fair.
actually bought some. I'm using it right now. She's blowing on me.
That's
Just to
pretty cool.
Try it out. I got these off of Amazon as well. They're like $25, and they also come with the flashy light on top of them.
I need to introduce you to AliExpress because not only will you get it cheaper, it'll also take 3 weeks to get here, and your credit card number will be stolen, but you'll save money. No, they use PayPal now. My credit card number has been stolen in a while, but there was a while where it was like, I don't know. I think I went through 3 new credit cards in 1 year.
You know what's
Jeez.
weird
They
about
always-
this one though?
They always order Uber Eats for some reason. They steal your credit card number and order a bunch of Uber Eats. Like,
Somebody tried to steal my Cabela's credit card number and order $5,000 off of Lowe's.com.
at least
And
that's
when
a
that
big
didn't
thing.
Decline.
At least
Yeah,
that's
auto
a big-
declined, and when that didn't work, they tried like 5 or 6 separate transactions of $800 to $1,000 each, and all of those were also declined. And then Cabela's called me and went like, "Did you do this?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Although now
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Anyway,
So, I have another one,
God,
and it's called
Dave.
the Mini Larry. And it's much more sleek than the first one. It's kind of boxy.
Mm.
But it's only a 500 lumen, but it's still got Mike's little size
Side
button
button.
power.
Side button.
Well, this one, it's only got like 2 settings. It's got high, low, off, or if you hold it, then the floodlight comes on.
Ooh.
So, and there's high and low for that one too. And it's a magnet mount. Like it's got a magnet base plate. But, and it recharges off a USB-C.
Can you
And it's
magnet
a-
side it? Like, or does it have a magnet on the side or just on the?
No,
Okay,
just
gotcha.
on
You
the
just
top.
bring
But it's
another-
got the same clip that the Torchy 2K has.
One of
The
my
Torchy
favorite
2K
headlamp- You go ahead. I'll chime in after that.
Okay. The Torchy 2K has an 18650 battery in it. This Mini Larry has a 14500, whatever that one is. Small.
That's weird.
Small.
But, and I think this one's like $25. This one's 40. This one's 25. So,
It's weird. This fan, you can't get in there. You'd have to like take it all apart. But it says it has an 18650 battery in it.
really?
Interesting.
Sounds like it's time to start drilling holes.
Yeah, I want to know how. I want to be able to swap that out all quick like.
Right?
But one of my favorite headlamps is just one of the Coast brand headlamps that you can get at Walmart, and it's just this tiny little guy that's on you know, it snaps into the headband, and it's got a magnet on one side, so you can pop it out and stick it to things and
Oh, okay.
move it around. And it comes with a rechargeable. I don't know what the name is. It's a CR123, but it's rechargeable, and you can plug it in either separately or you can just plug in the whole unit and charge it up. It's I like that one.
Nice.
It's not expensive either.
Cool. Speaking
Well-
of things that aren't expensive, I'm going to talk about lighting my desk on fire now, if that's okay.
I suppose.
I'm out
If
of things
you
to
must.
say.
So I went to the old surplus store because that's what I do with my life now. And they had these teeny. I like permanent. I've always liked the look of like permanent match lighters, but like the really old fashioned ones where I don't know if you know what a permanent match lighter is. Imagine a Zippo, but it's got a knobbin on the top. And instead of flicking it, you pull it out. And the really expensive fancy ones, like the old fashioned ones, they will strike when you pull on the knob at the top and it pulls the match part out. All the new ones strike on the side, but they had these itty bitty little permanent match lighters for $2. I was like, ooh, I want to play around with that. And let me tell you, this lighter is both the most fascinating, scary, and intriguing thing I've owned in a long time.
Can
I
we
just
call
found
it
out-
the fire flask?
Yeah, because I just found out it doesn't have anything in here like there's no felt or anything to absorb the fuel. So if you tip it upside down, you will get it everywhere and light your desk on fire. And then if I can get it to strike, this thing has a flame. Oh, come on, you little bastard. Why won't you go for me when I really want you to? This is riveting. For those on
It's like
audio,
that-
I'm trying to light a lighter. There we go.
That ship
Look at the size of
documentary
that
I
bastard.
watched.
There's a 3-inch
Oh, damn.
flame that comes off this thing. And I'm
I used
pretty
to do
sure
that
this
with
is
the other regular lighters and call them crack lighters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what you get when you try and copy an expensive design really cheaply, and then you just fail in all the best ways. Because now it's down to a normal size. But
We found out that if you took those lighters apart, the adjustable ones, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just kept moving it over and
Rotating.
over, you could just like
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
And then you don't
you-
tell
you-
somebody when you hand them your lighter
Yes.
to light a cigarette, and then it lights their
Oh.
hair on fire.
I used to do that to my dad's lighters.
Classic.
so anyway, now I was vaguely intrigued by that. I will not be taking this camping because this seems like a faster way for me to burn the forest down than a road flare. And I don't think we want that, do we?
It'd be more
Depends on the
interesting.
forest, but
Not necessarily
generally,
more
no.
fun, but more interesting. It's like,
How
look at the
How about
ways
the
I
woods
have to
around
start
Estes
this fire.
Park? How about the woods around Estes Park so we can push all the elk out of there to a huntable unit? Because I've been doing hardcore. I've been going balls to the wall on our Instagram account here. Which by the time you hear this, it'll be extra balls to the wall. But I saw a reel there of a what he said of a bull elk, big fucking beautiful like 7x bull elk up in Estes Park. Follow him. Rut must be getting on because he's chasing these people down a trail, not like full speed, just trotting along behind them, and he dips his head and whacks this old guy with his rack. Bang.
Nice.
It's like this wouldn't happen.
That's what we were
Let-
talking about.
Shoot 'em. What
We were talking about that like last week.
about Estes Park and shooting elk or what?
No, just like the animals that get used to the people
Oh.
and start pushing them around. Like,
Oh, because we were talking. I don't remember anything we said last week. So
oh, maybe it
never
was
mind.
2 weeks ago. It was the Yellowstone tips and tricks and like
Oh,
all
I
the
literally
animals that get used to people.
so
So
the next few days, there's going to be one of those a day coming out on our Instagram, and then you get impressively better. But
For
oh
the-
no, yeah, they do get like I think what we were talking about is how the animals in Yellowstone. Everyone goes, oh look, it's untouched, unblemished nature, but then you have these animals that are so thoroughly well peopled that they don't react to humans as they should. Because
But then
that's
again,
like,
the people aren't reacting to the animals the way they should either.
well, nobody does that. I mean,
Pet the
hardly.
fluffy cow. Pet the
Like, oh
fluffy
look,
Thunder
there's
cow.
a grizzly bear. Let me pick up my toddler and run towards the grizzly bear. There's
The
videos. of
toddler
people doing
survives
that.
because it's not enough of a snack for the grizzly bear to even bother with.
Toddler survives because the bear has more prudence than to kill people, and people are lucky. But no, I mean same old thing. There's wandering around whacking people with its rack, and that's funny.
Would you say he's racking people?
I
Racking and
guess.
stacking?
No.
Just racking and stacking bodies.
No.
Nope.
I'd be more impressed if he dipped it down and then snagged up and gave the guy a big old wedgie. But
He's got like 3 or 4 dudes hanging by wedgies from his rack, just walking around.
actually, if you could inject a little bit more intelligence into elk, you know how much fun you could have if you created elk that have enough wits about them to have a competition to see who can depants as many people as possible without drawing blood. And so then they go around Estes Park, ripping people's pants off, and then they, they
You
reconvene.
gored the fuck out of that one, Dave. You're not supposed to do that.
Disqualified.
Be like- I counted coup 4 times today.
Yeah. Exactly.
Look, the secret is if you take the pointy part and you get it right down the crack, you actually won't draw blood, but you can take the pants down.
So imagine
Also,
now.
why does this pantsing elk have to be named Dave?
Because obviously.
But just imagine now you go out for your archery elk hunt every year. And so you're hunting the elk, but you also got to keep one eye over your shoulder at all times to make sure they're not sneaking up behind you trying to take your pants off.
You've got
And
those
not in
little
a-
like
and not in a
bicycle
rut.
reflective mirrors up in your eye, like just watching behind
And
you.
not in not in,
Sam,
not in a
Sam,
sexual way. That
pull
they're
your
not trying
pants
to breed
down.
you. They just want to rip off your underwear and run because it's counting coup for elk. They're like, hey, I mean, then there's like gradations of it. If you take a tourist's pants, that's like, all right, good for you. And then it can go
That's 1
children,
point.
Children are 10 points, old people are 4 points, and adult men are like 11 points. And then you can also, the shorts are worth half as much as pants. And then you can get up to like hikers. They're like the next tier up. You want to take off, they're usually wearing, but hikers are a good one because they're more out and about. They're going to be more wary of you. And the top tier, well, though you probably go like hunter, and then your top tier could be like CPW officers, like the wildlife management guys, because
Well, if the object is to get the antlers to get the pants off, then like the tourists tend to not have any obstacles in the way of their pants.
Well, that's what I'm
the
saying.
hikers tend to have like packs and stuff that you gotta like, and
And the
then hunters have
CPW
bigger packs and
the
are also
CPW
armed.
officers have Batman belts on all the time.
Right,
So you
and
gotta get around the
exactly what I was,
Batman belt.
yeah.
Yeah, except
And
like
then
they're okay. They would put out suggestions like, "We suggest you not wear pants in the wilderness to avoid being pants by the elk. We're gonna wear the Batman belt, but you should just take your pants off."
hunting
Just run
suspender
around
market would explode.
You just wear boots, gaiters, and then lots of bug spray.
Come to find out, like that's why the Germans wear lederhosen.
Because the
Lederhosen.
red
What
deer
the
are out there
fancy
pantsing everybody.
All the red deer over there, like.
Maybe that's why they're so growly.
Right, I'm going to get this guy.
All right, that was
Well,
good. I like
So that
that.
was fun. Show title: Pantsing Elk.
Pantsing elk.
Pants.
Yeah, or count. Yeah, pantsing elk.
Elk pants.
No, because that makes it sound like elk are wearing pants.
I know, but then you get to
Well-
the root of why we called it elk pants, and then you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense at all, Mike.
Elk pantsing is what I wrote down.
Oh, that's counting coup.
I mean, I was gonna put counting Q too, but I got to figure out how to put something that's not.
I don't even know what
Whatever.
that means, to be honest. So,
Were you never
Oh,
in
boy.
elementary school?
yes, I was, but
Were you just
It
the
was the
kid that's
private
that
charter Air Force elementary school.
no, dude, I just didn't pay attention because school was boring.
Counting coup is various ways that Native American tribes could win essentially prestige amongst their fellows. And there's probably the one that most people would know is like running up and touching an enemy, or doing it on horseback and escaping unscathed, but without actually hurting the guy, because it's like a feat of bravery. Stealing horses would be another one. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds
Stealing
of
horses
different ways
makes
of
sense.
doing
Yeah, that makes okay. Relating
Counting
it to stealing
coup,
horses, I
yeah.
get.
Getting close enough to touch an enemy without being harmed and without harming the enemy.
I watched a guy do that with a black bear. There was a black bear in a dumpster, and he went running by it, smacked it on the ass, and just kept cooking. Bear flipped the fuck out and took off the other way. I would call that.
Yeah, I would call that too. No, that's like
the
I was
balls on
working-
that guy, but also that's funny as fuck.
Well, I was working up in this is probably when I was like 15, working up in an area with a lot of black bear, and we work at this job site like a month, so like every Tuesday, I don't remember what day it was, the trash gets put out. Well, this black bear every freaking Tuesday would come along and just knock over every trash can, boom, boom, bunk, 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 and so finally the drywaller, short little wide guy, saw the bird doing this and just goes hauling ass down the road. Bear flips out, knocks over just trying to snoop in a trash can, spills the whole trash can all over the place, trips over itself, and then just books it into the trees. And this drywaller was nothing to run from. Like this dude was like 5'3", sideways and up and down.
Yeah, but if you're
Bear coulda had
5'3"
it.
sideways and up and down, imagine this giant sphere running at you screaming, and you're a bear like, ah! Why is this ball coming at me?
It's a sphere with a little round roly-poly on top.
Why is BB-8 coming directly at me?
Two little arms and legs flapping as it goes.
He probably looked like a hairless bear.
It's a beach ball with legs. Run!
Hairless bear.
He ate Willy Wonka's gum.
Oh, he's Violet.
Yeah, Violet Jessup.
No, it's
Or
not
something.
Jessup. It's Violet.
No,
something.
you're right. It's not Jessup.
But anyway.
Beauregard. Violet
Yeah,
Beauregard.
Violet Beauregard. There you go. Just the drywaller variation.
Jesus Beauregard.
Sure.
That's the roofer.
I thought he was the painter.
Yeah, right.
Well, I got some pants that Elk can't pull off this
Are you
weekend,
sure?
actually. Yeah,
I'm
positive.
gonna if
'Cause
I can
they're-
pull them off.
They're called bibs or overalls. Not coveralls, but overalls.
that's
I got,
like that's like 20. That's like 40 points right there. Because
Yeah,
you
No, you
you
just
only
gotta
have to get them
unclasp
And
off,
they're
them.
camo, so they
You
can't
gotta-
see them.
but they got to unhook them and then get them off.
You
Yeah.
see the hooves just coming around you, like, what is going on here?
Seductively. Seductive hooves.
And they reach up and they just hoof open your clasps on your overalls, and then you feel the antlers.
I'm uncomfortable with this conversation.
Well, anyway.
As long as
had
everyone
a,
is.
Had a
Those are
listener
some nice suspenders.
get a hold of us on the old face page. And him and I have been talking back and forth for, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months or so. And Mike B is the listener. And he's like, hey, Dave, your kids need some hunting stuff? I was like, my kids always need hunting stuff. And shit, I need hunting stuff. But he's like, oh, I'll scrounge together some stuff and see what I can come up with. And so this goes on for a couple months, and he's sending like some pictures here and then. It's like, yeah, can you use this? I'm like, yep. Can you use that? Absolutely. And a few days ago, he's like, hey, Dave, can you use a tripod? I'm like, there's a bear shit in the woods. And so he's like, okay, well, he came through town, like way the hell out of his way, on his way back home from a trip that he was on. Stopped in old Springfield, Colorado, middle of nowhere, and dropped off an absolute shitload of stuff. I mean,
I seen the pile. Well,
Yeah.
pictures of the pile.
the picture is on my Instagram at PlowGuyDave, but there's pants, there's jackets, there's clothes, there's survival gear. He sent a scope, he sent a rangefinder, he sent binoculars, he sent a game cart, he sent a bog death grip tripod, he sent a ground blind, he sent I don't know how many knives, and one of the knives I need to talk to him about it because it's a really cool older Damascus knife. And I could tell it's old because the handle's kind of weathered and the sheath that it was in was beat to shit. So no, it's been around for a while and it's been used, and it's a super slick knife, but that was like one of a dozen that he sent. There's like a camp axe / saw combo, like where the axe is in a case and the case is a tree saw. So that's handier than shit.
Mhm.
It's pretty heavy for a pack, but like for camping, oh yeah, gonna take that. But
Bonito.
there was some like survival food stuff, some wipes for poison ivy. There was like an emergency saw, emergency blankets. I mean, anything I could have thought of, he probably had in there,
Snacks?
and it was what?
Snacks?
Yes, there were snacks.
All right.
Yeah. 72 hours worth actually of snacks. But it was incredible, and I'm beyond grateful. But
I feel like I
it's
feel like,
just
I'm supposed
super-
to be publicly obligated to express some gratitude to my wife because my wife is the one who mentioned to this guy that there's a podcast that exists.
yeah.
Because I don't tell anybody that this thing existed, or at least I didn't used to. And my wife's like, "Oh, look, he's got a hunting podcast." I'm like, "What? Yeah, I guess."
Yeah, no. Thank you, Whitney. And it was really, really humbling, I think. But all of this is going to get put to use. That was his one caveat was, he's like, you don't owe me anything except that it gets used. It doesn't collect dust.
I think he might be in the show chat right now under the name
Hey,
No. So he wants to know
maybe
what knife.
so.
I would say, I don't know, maybe we to describe it, but you can also just
Yeah.
message him after the show when
Yeah, I will.
you have your phone back and it's not in the window providing your internet service.
Yeah.
But no, that's freaking awesome.
No, it was
That's above and
It
beyond
was-
right there.
It was great. A really cool guy, too. We sat and bullshitted for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. Him,
And we bullshitted
Met
at
his
that
wife.
Christmas party for a long time.
yeah. I just didn't want to keep him because they were on their way home and they drove like 2.5 hours out of their way to come down and drop all this shit off to me. So, no, my daughter, who, spoiler alert, drew a deer tag,
Nice.
she's going to be using a lot of this stuff. I mean, the first thing as soon as we got home, we got the tripod out and got a gun on it and started shooting off of that.
I had
nice.
one of those bog tripods for a short period because I was, thanks to Shields, unbeknownst to them, I was testing it for the bear hunt for about a
Mhm.
week, and excellent bipod. A little heavy for hauling up and down a mountain, but
It is kind of heavy, but
Fantastic
at
bipod.
the same time, it is a weight that I'm willing to bear.
well, I mean, you're going to be
So,
deer hunting down
super
there,
deep.
right? Too?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, so at least
I
you're
plan
not-
on taking that.
My
everywhere.
biggest issue with it is like, all right, I'm already having to carry 40 pounds worth of food and all the other crap in my bag, plus a rifle and a tripod that I'm going to be putting the spotting scope and binoculars on. And then let's add another tripod on top of that. It was
Mhm.
just a little too much.
Oh yeah, no, understand. But for my kids, and especially when I'm out here spotlighting coyotes and stuff like that, oh yeah, this tripod. Oh,
I
and
use that
the
same
ground
thing.
blind.
Yep.
That's going to be a game changer when I take my kids coyote hunting because they can't fucking sit still. So they're going to be in a nice ground blind. Just
No,
all.
they're going to be grabbing
peaceful.
the walls and shaking it.
Oh no, they won't. Not if they like coming hunting with me. But no, everything's going to get put to use.
Yeah, no,
I
used
had to
one of those,
reorganize some storage.
I used one of those tripods also when we were down there with Sean from We Like Shooting and Brandon from Gadsden Armory.
Arsenal.
Yeah, Gadsden
Arsenal. I
Armory.
couldn't remember what A word it was.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal. But no, I was down, when we were shooting prairie dogs down there, and no, I wasn't using it for shooting prairie dogs. That was all off of the back of his truck and fence posts. It was for when the night portion for chasing
Yeah.
coyotes. So cool.
No, it was great. I'm incredibly thankful and grateful. So shout out to Mike B. And he is getting quite the swag pack. So
Nice.
I just got to put it together.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll put an order in, especially with some of those new stickers, the
yeah.
temp logo that's on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which is temporary. We'll have another one later, but whatever. Anywho, well, that's awesome. Vince, what is on your head? Because that was actually one of my topics tonight. I wanted to just briefly ask a question about.
That's a hat.
But is it a round hat or a square hat?
Generally dome shaped.
Oh, just like my head. Um, is it just me, or whenever you look at like any of the big hunting media, nobody wears boonie caps. Everybody wears ball caps.
Yep, I don't understand that because almost gingers like me need boonie caps to not get sunburned to death, basically.
He just said, I got hit in the trap. He said, "No, Sam, you need in the trap." In the comments, he said, "No, Sam, you need a lightweight aluminum shooting stick, adjustable tripod, bipod, monopod with 3 yoke, 35 to 71 rifle." That's too many words there, but bipod, monopod with 360-degree swivel yoke, 35 inches to 71 inches rifle gun stand. I'm looking at something like that to replace my like just run-of-the-mill Vortex bipod or tripod for taking that tripod for doing. Actually, I will probably take the tripod for elk just because I want to climb up that big-ass mountain and glass from the top. But for bear and rifle season, I want to switch to something that's gonna whatever, something more similar to that probably.
I made
Anywho,
my shooting sticks out
Did
of
you
a
just-
mop handle that I cut down the center and then like kind of whittled down and then bolted together so that they went ear, and then put a old tire tube over the
Oh, yeah.
shoot, and that's what I use. It's actually pretty simple.
Nice.
I like the look of like the quick sticks on the trekking poles too. Those
Yeah.
always look handy. I have a little nylon. It's not First Light branded, but they sell it on the website for First Light. I can't remember what it is. It's a little like nylon shooting rest that folds up, and then with the leg of the tripod, and then you just pull a piece of Velcro and it falls down, and then it's a little nugget you can rest on. But
I've tried the monopods. I really don't like them. It's almost
I've never liked a monopod. To me, it's more stable than offhand, but not by a whole lot.
not for the effort in actually dragging it around. I mean, not that it's heavy, but it's another thing to hold on to. It's like, I'll just shoot offhand or find a tree or fence post or something. But yeah,
Anywho, Ginger Boy, you wear a boonie cap, don't you?
Every outsideness I can.
Yeah, it's because you're
I
pale.
yeah, exactly.
But I was just wondering about that because I went and got myself a new one today at the surplus store because my old one is in tatters basically. And it's like last year I wore this hat and it was fine, but I did get the back of my neck burned out. So it's like, wait a minute, why am I not wearing a hat that protects the back of my neck? And then
Right.
I'm looking at all the media in the world going, why do they all wear ball caps? Is it because actually I know exactly why? It's because you can have a company logo right here on their forehead for the whole episode.
pretty much.
Yeah,
I had to get a new one
it's
because
advertising space.
I went through this phase where I would leave hats lying around outside, and my dog turned into a velociraptor and started eating them. And my boonie cap was a victim.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I just realized this is going to be a temporary thing because I talked about this advertising space, and but after t-shirts is gonna be hats, and then I'm gonna have to be wearing one around too.
We should do a boonie cap
Yeah, but where do you put like the advertising on a boonie cap? It's so
straight
weird.
on top.
I thought about that, but then you'd have to have a drone shot all the time. Oh, Dave is holding up the knife. That is a
Yes.
good-looking knife right there.
Pointy.
It's
little
very
things to
nice.
Is that real Damascus or is it laser etched?
It's real.
Is it real Valyrian steel?
No, it's real. And it's like the handle's rough in some spots. Like it's handmade,
That is really nice.
and the sheath.
Oh yeah,
Has
that's
some
a better
wear.
use.
So I just wanted to know the story about it, but I'll text him later.
That's cool, man.
So anyway, there wasn't much of a point I was making. It was just that it was an observation I made that I think the boonie cap is underutilized. Anywho.
I like it for certain
I
things.
agree. I actually. Sorry, Vince. Go ahead.
No, I said it. That's all I had.
Oh, okay. I agree wholeheartedly. I use them when I'm doing outside work. I wear one around the house, just because.
Are your LEDs too bright for you?
I wear one outside around the house, dickhead.
Oh, okay.
If I'm out hunting, yeah, or hiking or camping, or yeah, I've got one on because it protects the back of my neck, and I don't have to worry about slathering sunscreen on there all day long. Like I'll be
Ginger.
good. Yeah, right. It sucks. It sucks not having any melanin in your skin. It sucks being descended from peoples who barely saw the sun.
Anti-melanin. Cave people.
Well, speaking of, you know how long it took me to figure out what the branding on this hat was? Speaking of bad logo designs, it's Voonie is how it's technically spelled, but it just looks like a series of V's and N's and slashes. It's terrible.
Vooney?
Yeah, Voonie, V-U-N-I. It's a hunting gear
Voonie.
company. I found this hat on sale at Shields. I was like, oh, look, it's a hat. Cool. And then,
Oh, it's
I
like the
spent-
new Kia logo. It's
yeah,
terrible.
I
Oh, yeah.
spent months, actual months, just since I own this hat, every time I would see it, I mean, what does that mean? I showed it to the guys I went hunting with. They didn't know what it was. I pow out with my wife on it for a long time. Like, what does this mean? It's like, well, it's a V and then a V and an R and an I. And then out of the blue, I don't remember how it was. I think it was back in Shields on a rack was another, and it was like, Vooney. So I texted my wife, it's Vooney. I texted the two guys I went elk hunting with. It's Vooney. That's the brand. And nobody had ever heard of it.
I've
Sounds
never
like-
heard of it.
I thought you were going to say that you saw it out of the corner of your eye and it suddenly made sense. It was like Mona Lisa's smile. It
Oh, I wish. I wish that would be a more epic story than I went back to Shields and then I think I saw a pair of pants that had the logo and then on the tag it actually had it written out in English or in Latin letters and not this weird goofy overlapping thing. So anywho, that was a tangent, but
Tangents are awesome, though. It's
yeah,
fine.
sometimes.
I prefer oranges.
Do you get the canned tangerines? So Dave, did you have you said you were spoiling draw results or something?
Oh,
Or no?
yeah. So
Yeah,
secondary
you
draw
didn't write that in
got
your show notes,
posted
though.
yesterday.
Okay.
I meant to write that in my show notes. I forgot to write that in my show notes. But secondary draw results posted yesterday, July 8th for Colorado. And surprise, surprise, I did not draw. Fuck.
I think we
Dave
just
died.
lost him.
Yep,
Yeah.
there he
But
goes.
I believe what he was trying to say is he surprise did not draw the stuff that he wanted to draw. Which is too bad.
But then there was more, but now he gone.
Yeah, I completely spaced the secondary draw because I had every intention of looking up stuff that I wanted to apply for and then applying for it, but preparing to go to GunCon and then being at GunCon got in the way completely, and it just didn't happen. So
See, you're as bad as me. I wasn't
I got-
preparing for anything. I just think CPW's dates caught me off guard because it was from the 20th to like the 28th.
yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, no big deal. I'll just get it before the 30th. Because I'm thinking, like a natural human being might think in 10-day increments. But I'm not worried about it at all because mostly what I want is black bear tags. And I was checking the quotas earlier today. And like, there's for the over the counter stuff, there's so many choices.
that is good news.
I mean, I can't remember. We've talked about this so many times, but like, is it better to go for one that's got fewer available tags, like to begin with, or more? I can't remember. I do know I'll probably end up back over by Grand Mesa because like Unit 43 has at a total quota of 45, has a remaining 6. Um, I think that one's more over by Aspen, but
Remember, at least look up whether there's actually animals in the area. I know they won't
oh,
offer
they're
tags
all
but
those basically that whole western slope has got lots and lots of bears. So I'm not too worried about that, but
all right.
I think I'm still gonna pass on the unit I went to last year because that unit has like 700 tags. Was the remaining balance, and it's like that feels like too many tags.
Yeah, that's a lot of tags.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try and go for something that's got a smaller remaining balance. But anyway,
Well, that's. I mean, I didn't really worry too much about the
eh.
secondary draw anyway
He
because
says
I've
he
got.
wants to. Don't know, but he wants to go for bear too. It's like, yeah, I went for bear last year, and fully admit I kind of quit off the hunt a little bit too early. But yeah, bear is like high on my list of things I want to get. I want that big bear rug. Well, I'll have nowhere to put it because my wife wouldn't. Well, my wife wouldn't let me hang it on the wall in the living room because, you know, putting it on the floor is a bad idea because the dogs will eat it. So yeah, I guess I'll just put it in here behind me when I eventually get one.
There might be leftover deer tag or something somewhere we can get, but I've
I
got
would
ducks
say
to go
there might
after.
be, but I would prepare to pounce on that stuff because I mean, like Dave saying that he didn't get to, he didn't get what he was trying to draw. The buddy of mine at church, he didn't get what he was trying to draw. Primary, so means he probably didn't get secondary either. So any leftover tags are going to be their first come first serve for those who don't know, and they're probably going to be like you're waiting for 8 o'clock when it goes on sale to start mashing buttons.
Yeah, I'm not talking about looking for the ones that are like there's only 3 or 4 of them and you have to mash buttons. Like I'm not
I
about
know.
that game.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying that it seems like the pickings are so slim this year that it might be all you get. Like there may be only options of button mashing.
You know, I might get
Because
the well. I suppose we could see how many were issued, but I'll look into that another time. There's going to be some places that are going to have plenty of leftover tags, but it's also the possibility. I mean, it's you could have a place that has 700 elk tags, but good luck getting elk there.
we will truck the elk in. Hi, Dave.
I'm
Speaking of-
back.
But
Yeah, I went for. I'm responding to him again in the YouTube chat. I went last year. I think I may have seen one footprint, and I definitely passed over a scat pile on my way out. But the problem is, did I talk about this last week about how much I demoralized myself by overdoing it that day, or was I talking with my wife about that? Either way, by the time I saw the scat pile, I was like, "Screw this place! There's too many cows. I'm out of here." And yeah, that was with my wife. I was talking about that. What I should have been is see a little pile of bear poop right in the middle of the road, and then drop my pack and started doing the old concentric rings of circles outward and outward and outward and outward for however long until I found another print or something. But no, I didn't do that. So yeah, go me.
yeah,
Live and learn.
Good call.
Live and learn. At the
I need to
time,
look into like spot and stalk or something like that for bear. Because now that I have a bear tag automatically, I'm more thinking about trying for archery. But of course, that's hard to do if you're not baiting. It's almost too easy if you're baiting. You just go throw the stuff out there and then check and see if something's hitting it, and then go sit and wait and shoot. But having to go onto public land and try and find one is
it's gonna be hard down by you because you don't have a whole lot of elevation to get on.
Or a whole lot of public.
well, actually, the area I hunt down there is like 110,000 acres. I mean, it's not
I
small.
stand fucking corrected.
Um,
I thought it was like 1,000.
and the elevation there ranges from about 600 feet to there's peaks sitting at 1,400 feet. I think there might be some in the up close to 2,000 feet, but there is a decent amount of elevation change. I mean, we're definitely in hills down in southeast Oklahoma. So I don't know. I need to look into that.
You know
Might try
what
and
surprised
mash
me about
together.
what surprised me about Iowa was, and this is relevant, Vince. It surprised me that Iowa was actually pretty.
If you like
And-
corn,
Right.
corn,
So-
corn, corn.
I mean, there is a lot of corn, there's a lot of alfalfa, but there's also a lot of hills. There's a lot of rain, so it's very green. So it was really pretty.
Those aren't hills.
Um,
That's just where they've generationally piled up lots of corn husks until it forms little artificial landscapes.
It's funny you mentioned that there, as you like drive along the interstate there, you look out and you can see like giant piles, like mansion-sized piles of dead trees that farmers have just been like, well, take this, throw it in the pile. Take this, throw it in the pile. Anyway, it's related to Vince because I'm sure that southeastern Oklahoma is much prettier than I'm imagining.
No, southeastern, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
You're
Very
thinking of
much
the
so.
Panhandle, probably. Mike drove
Actually-
to the Panhandle once and went, I've seen Oklahoma. Moving on.
I mean, most of it touches Kansas, so
Yeah. Okay. There's parts of Oklahoma that look like
Ah, he said okay.
mountains.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway.
okay.
Oklahoma is fairly like ecologically diverse.
Did you know that the highest point in Oklahoma is like 20 miles away from me?
Yeah, it's up in the Panhandle.
Black Mesa.
Yeah, it's because the panhandle's up here, and then you like go down into the pan and get fried.
You know what's in the Panhandle? Tractors and meth.
Yeah, the Panhandle of Oklahoma is like that weird area where there was no government authority for about 40 years.
And still really isn't.
Sounds like a good time to me.
I'm still surprised they haven't sold the Panhandle to Texas. It's like, here, you can just have this.
It's because Texas doesn't want it.
Oh no,
Texas is big
Texas
enough.
Texas would take every opportunity to be bigger. Are you
Mhm.
kidding?
Yeah, yeah.
Texans-
Except that.
Texans
Except the
having
Oklahoma Panhandle.
Texans
All
having
opportunities.
No,
but
they totally would.
having the
They'd
opportunity
be like,
to buy
our hat's a little taller.
Texans having the opportunity to buy 6 square inches. They'd buy it for like $1 billion just so they could brag that Texas is now that much bigger. And then they'd make everything in Texas just a little micron bigger. Oh, look, our steaks are now 1/64th of an inch bigger
A
now.
Panhandle baker.
Yeah, exactly. Texans.
Texans will
Pan
use
you handle
anything. Texans will use anything but the metric system. It's one panhandle wide.
I panhandle this conversation anymore.
Neither can I. But
Oh,
I had something
God.
I was about to transition away to, and now I've totally forgotten what it was. So thanks for that.
In closing,
Tangent.
the mountains of southeast Oklahoma
it's
aren't
close.
like, potholes driving down the road. It's more like washboards.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
That sounds like fun, actually.
No, that's
love
what I was
washboards.
going to
The faster
touch
you
back
go, the
on.
better they are.
Because yeah, I was just imagining your spot and stock's gonna be a lot more difficult without that elevation. Just because at least here, you can get up high and you can look. I mean, granted, over there on like the western slope of the state, the berry bushes were so darn thick you couldn't hardly see through them. But at least you can get high and kind of see down and through things, and you're not in. You can at least get where you're not in the undergrowth. Like
You can definitely get up high and see things. And there
Oh,
are
that's good.
places where. So there's varying growth because it's a commercial logging operation where there's stands of timber that are 5 years old, and you have areas where it's 20 years old, and areas where it's just been cut, and everything in between. So I'm not sure how that plays into hunting for the bears, honestly.
I could only speculate because I can't put it out there like, "Ooh, look, I know things." But I do know that they like the new. I mean, everything I've read, put it that way, including going all the way back to Theodore Roosevelt stuff in that book is they like burn areas and avalanche chutes where they can get those fresh new greens coming up and not have to battle through all the old scrub to get to it. So your areas where they've been through logging recently might be a decent spot to look, but again, that's pure speculation on my part, unfortunately.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you got any berries down there, or do you have scrub oak down there at all with acorns?
I'm not sure how it applies to the commercial operation that they run down there.
Fair.
And because they go back through and they plant pine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, everything here in Colorado is like, look, if you can find acorns, then that's where, if the bears moved on into hyperphagia, which is where they want to do nothing but pack in calories before going down for hibernation. If you can find where the acorns are, that's where the bears will be too. If you can find acorns and then like berries, but especially the acorns because they're higher in the.
Now they do leave,
contents, but
they
you
leave
gotta,
the stands of oak up and down the waterways. So there's a certain area they won't cut. They'll only cut up to a certain point, and then they'll leave the oak timber and everything that's mixed in there alone.
Yeah.
And of course, some of it's too steep for them to actually log on and plant on, so they kind of leave that alone too. But
I've read lots of stuff about them liking the black bears liking steep areas too.
yeah,
But I don't know. Well, for me this year, when I get that tag, it's just gonna be find some. And this is what I didn't do. I started doing it last year, but I got a little bit of restless foot syndrome and decided, I'll go hike down 3 miles and go check out the water source while I'm here, and then we'll have a good plan for tomorrow. What I'm going to do this year is just find somewhere to plant my butt and sit there all day long and just glass and glass and glass and glass and glass and glass. And then maybe go check out the water the next day instead of packing all that in and then moving 10 miles in one day and then feeling at the end of the day that it's hopeless. Well, yeah, because I was all burned out and dead. And I've seen too many cows.
Most of what I've heard about like black bear hunting, especially like in Vince's situation where he does have such thick trees in places and a logging operation, is just walking the roads.
Yeah.
I've seen more bears in the road than I have ever off the road. So just walking old abandoned logging trails quietly.
maybe I'll just set up a really bad camp with all the food just kind of laying out.
It's not baiting, it's camping.
I thought about like, man, is there a way you could do that too up in like Grand Mesa here? Because there's so many, there's houses around. It's like, I know the bear's gonna be down there somewhere. Can I just put myself on the edge of the public and wait for them to go wander in looking for trash cans?
Like, I'm just gonna sit there in camp and cook bacon all day long.
It's coming right for us.
With lots of honey and peanut butter.
Well, it's archery, so it'll be thwang.
Fair enough. Very good. Dave, you got cut off. You were saying that you didn't draw your deer tag, right?
Yes, I did not draw my deer tag or my antelope tag because I applied for the exact same things that I applied my daughter for, and she has 100% preference, so my dumbass wasted $16. But she did draw a deer tag. She drew a late season doe, either sex, public land. And I'm like, okay, that'll work.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
That's fair.
Oh, not either sex, either species.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I was really confused for a second.
Yeah, it was a doe tag, whitetail, or muley.
Well, it is 2024. You know, those deer are getting a little.
You have to ask what it identifies as.
I identify as the marmot.
Hey, they're small game. That's open season.
But
Oh no, that one's identified as a swift fox.
Now that she has her tag, we're going to start getting behind the rifle quite a bit over the summer. That way she's very comfortable with it. So, excited.
That's exciting.
I am damn excited.
What season?
late season, so December 1st through the 14th,
All right.
and I'll pick up just a private land antelope tag for the same time. That way, if we don't see one, we can see another and shoot it.
Yeah.
But no, she's pumped. She was super pissed that she didn't get her antelope tag, and I was like, well, there was just one tag left. And yeah, apparently some other kid drew it, but I was like, you don't need a buck tag for your first one. Come on.
I don't know. My first deer tag was a buck. Granted, I got that when I was like 34.
No, so she's excited. She's gonna get behind the old 6.5 now.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm
Yep.
thinking back all them years ago when Dad was teaching me how to, he put all four of us behind the rifle because we were off on we all grew up hunting, so of course we all started out with antelope and whatnot. But the trip I talked about where we went to Africa, we all needed time behind it, so we all spent a summer just going out in the woods and shooting the 243 and going out in the woods and shooting the 243 and just I almost hated it, but I loved it at the same time. She's gonna remember this, dude. These are memories she's making with Dad, and that's gonna be so. It's cool, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, her and I do have the understanding that I will damn sure be there to help her, but she is gonna cut it open, and she's gonna gut it, and she's gonna skin it. I'm gonna help her with everything, but she's gonna be there to do it.
That is
Because
excellent.
that's part of it.
No,
Yeah,
in the
it is.
live chat says he's 56, started hunting at 18, maybe 5 years buck, all other years doe.
Mm-hmm.
He agrees, Mike.
And when we were out there, my little brother asked her, fish squeezer, "Hey, what do you want to? You want to wait for something, or you just want to put meat in the freezer?" And I was like, "I just want to put meat in the freezer." So I ended up shooting a 3-point, or I don't. It depends on how you look at it. 3 points on one side, 6 total. We've been over this before, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, dude.
That's why
Dave,
I hit that Forky with all authority, because it's like meat in the freezer.
Right. You had every intention of hitting that deer.
In Minecraft.
It didn't surprise the living piss out of you.
Not at all.
That's the one thing that open
I
season
steered
got
into
right.
it. Oh man, your brother's gonna hear that and be like, "Don't say that."
He's going to be like, didn't hear it. So anyway, Dave, where are you going to take her?
Down here. Just
Well, obviously,
she
but
drew, yeah. Um,
into the canyons or...
maybe. I am gonna get an elk tag this year because I didn't get one last year, but I'll get an elk tag this year. So I'm gonna be in the canyons September, whenever it opens, with me old rifle, waiting to smack something. But I'll be scouting around then too, and I mean, a doe is not too fucking hard to find around here. Even on public ground. I mean, you can find them on private, but if I can find them on public and not have to call a landowner, that's better in my book.
Yeah, definitely. I may
Antelope are one thing. Deer, most people tend to like deer. They like to look at deer. They see antelope, they're like, you fence breaking son of a bitch.
I might end up right there with you, looking for the elk in the canyons. I've been
No,
wanting to do
you're
that
gonna
for a
be
few
with
years.
me looking for elk on the side of a mountain, because I'm gonna drag you with me.
¿Por qué no los dos? Oh,
Because
right,
it's gonna
because
take all
ducks
month.
also.
Yeah, and ducks. And
Oh,
your
when's
ducks.
your elk season, Sam?
I mean, archery opens up September 1st.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I intend to be there opening weekend, just because then pressure might not push them over the hill. They were bugling a bit last year, so. But at the same time, we didn't bring any bugles last year because I wasn't going to bring any calls because I'm an idiot. I don't want to mess it up. And then we get up there and it finds out nobody else brought any calls either because they didn't want to mess it up. So it's like, well, damn it.
Fuck.
You all
We brought-
messed it up without
we
trying
brought
to
some-
mess it up.
We brought some cow calls. Like, what? Fantastic. I'm going to take Kyle from Rifle Speed's advice when we were talking to him. I still need to do that tree line pursuits course, which I'm going to here probably before too much longer. But like we're right in the middle of the drainage. We're gonna probably go back to the same spot. We'll probably go scout it out in August just to make sure it's not dried up or something goofy like that. But I'm gonna hike my ass up to the eastern mountain, camp up overnight up there because I don't feel like climbing the mountain in the morning in the dark, and then get up in the morning and just start bugling down to those bastards, or at least listening for them. See if we can't figure out where they're starting to bed down,
Mm-hmm.
and then figure out, okay, I'm going to print out 2 identical maps. Because I know we have Onyx, but I'll print out 2 identical maps that have basically grid squares on them, and then use the Zolio or whatever to text Mike down there saying, okay, I think they might be in grid square whatever. So meet me at the bottom of the drainage at this point, and then we'll try and work our way up and around to them. That's the plan, at least, so far.
What unit is that up there?
I
can't
ain't
remember.
telling you, son.
I might have a fucking map, sir.
Well, we'll talk about it later then.
Okay, good enough.
I'm going to be a little bit cagey about it until I know that, well, probably the rest
Gatekeeper.
of my life, because I'm going to be a gatekeeper. Damn it, it's my turn to be a gatekeeper. I've been getting... It's Unit 171.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if that was that unit or your bear unit.
Unit 40. Problem is that tag that I had was good for like 4 units, and I think it was 41 I was in, but it might have been 42.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whenever you're done with that bugle, I may cabbage back onto it.
Yeah, I've
So I
been
can
practicing with a
howl at
diaphragm
these.
call too, and it's just like it's either I'm about to gag and puke my guts out, or it's like causing my tongue to itch, and I just want to spit it out. So yeah,
Mhm.
fantastic. I might buy a second.
They
one
take
for
some
calls,
practice.
too. But
Oh, that's what that noise was. Okay.
no, it was
Yes,
not my
that was,
cat.
that was a
tag,
cow.
so
That was a cow call, Vince.
in theory, it was a cow call. It wasn't a good one. Too much.
What are
It
you saying?
buzzed too much.
Diaphragm call. I was like, that's a weird sounding turkey.
Yeah, it's essentially the same fucking call.
Just
but-
different sound.
Yeah.
But no, anywho, that's coming up here less than 2 months now. I want to
And
get up there
ducks in
again, like
2 months and
the
elk.
day
Oof.
before opening, or actually maybe even 2 days before, just to make sure the spot's tied down, and that way also a little more wiggle room in case we don't find anything. But I mean 2 days before, like if it's opening on a Saturday for say, get there like Thursday night, have all Friday to maybe scout around if needed, and then double check again on Friday.
That's a good plan. Nothing said you can't bugle.
No, nothing says it can't bugle. I may not even need to bugle if they. I mean, they were talking to each other a little bit when we were there. Well, that kind of I don't know, because that's the thing too. Is it too early for them to be really in the rut on opening weekend, or should it, or is it better to go a week or so after? Like these are the things I don't freaking know. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's all I got.
We're getting
I'm
into
excited,
it. I'm excited.
It's coming.
All right. So I checked. We don't have any new reviews as of when I last checked, but I did send off stickers to typical PNW guy, not tactical PNW guy. And I need to have a new run of stickers made too, so I'm gonna have that.
It's
done
also
here
not
soon.
tactical weapon guy.
It's not that either. But leave us a review wherever you listen to us. Send us a, well, for now, when you hear this, it'll still be Let's Go Hunt over at gmail.com, or Let's Go Hunt podcast at gmail.com. That will be changing here pretty soon too. And yeah, leave us a review, send me an email with your address, and I'll send you some stickers. I'm going to have a bunch more made in that brown, or it's white on brown. Because it's the exact same brown color as all like the Forest Service signs, and it gets my
Nice.
jimmies up. I'm like, ooh, I like that. Technically, the
Also
brown on white
UPS.
is more accurate, but it doesn't look as good on the sticker. What, Vince?
It's also UPS.
I mean, there's
What can
that
brown
too.
do for
Yeah,
you?
I mean, we'll stay away from the FedEx colors, but you know. So,
We should make a FedEx sticker just to fuck with people.
well, he made some great. This is what's making me mad. He made some green and blue ones too, for the sample pack that I got, and I think my kids ran off with them, and I don't know where they're at.
Oh, those
They're somewhere.
damn kids and stickers! I swear to God, man.
Oh, my daughter's like, I give her any sticker. This could be like the Let's Go Hunt sticker. Like, he is a nice sticker. Let's go put it on your little pink Jeep out in the garage. She's like, can I stick it to my shirt? Like, no. I mean, yes, you can if you really want to, but like, that's not a good use of this sticker.
You're missing
Save
the
that
point
for
of
the cheap
sticker.
stickers we buy in the giant book.
Yeah.
Can I stick it to my brother? Like, no, that doesn't count either.
Save that for the hippo stickers or the giraffe stickers.
Yeah. All right. I think that hour and 10 minutes, that'll do. So, Dave, you want to drum it out? Is it your turn? No, it's Mike.
Mike's.
You were the intro. Mike is the outro.
It says in the intro that Mike is the outro.
Yeah, we did the intro.
I can't read.
Support the sport. Take a buddy hunting. Get some trauma training. Search for Let's Go Hunt on YouTube and at Reddit at r/Let's Go Hunt podcast. Excuse me. Links available at firearmsradio.net.
Links available at lghpodcast.com, which will take you to all them links.
We have lots of links. We'll
We're so
update
fucking
all the
official
links.
now.
We are.
That's awesome.
If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends and family about us. Check the show notes for info on Initiative 91, the ban on kitty cat hunting in Colorado. Thanks for listening, and let's go hunt.
Yeah. Titles. I think Elk Pantsing or Fire
Elk
Flask.
Pantsing. Elk Pantsing.
Elk Pantsing.
Elk Pantsing it is. And we're off air there. Thanks for
Elk
listening,
Pantsing
guys, on
looking for the
YouTube.
Fire Flask.
Have a good night.
Bye bye.